So Trey, I'll start with you. I mean, you know my passion for understanding fees and costs and why I'm so concerned with maybe the fees that are being charged to a lot of savers out there.
Yeah, it's for savers when they kind of go into this retirement planning lifestyle, they're used to 401ks, employer plans that are very low cost. And there's this huge push by the DOL, rightfully so, that fees and commissions and everything is disclosed. And we're very forthright about telling people what it costs to do business with Tony Walker Financial. They never write checks to Tony Walker Financial.
Which is a mystery for some people. They're like, how do y'all, I don't understand how y'all make money.
Exactly. So there's commissions, there's fees. We disclose all of that. Unfortunately, in the financial world, sometimes savers are surprised by what fees they're actually paying.
And speak to the, he mentioned the DOL, Heather. What is the definition of the DOL? That's an acronym, obviously. And this idea of these 8424s that we have to provide to our clients. What's the purpose of those 8424s?
Yes. So the Department of Labor several years ago required that anytime someone is moving from a 401k, 403b, any kind of employer plan to an IRA via rollover, that it is disclosed on what they're moving from to what they're moving to. So we look at things in terms of what their employer plan can provide in terms of service, expertise, tax planning, annuity planning, things like that, as well as their investment options and the costs associated with the current employer plan and what we would be proposing to move to. In that document, we also disclose how we're getting paid, if we are recommending any kind of commission product, what that commission is, and further details on annuities if that's what part of our proposal.
And you know, Wes, you're heavily involved in the investment department. I mean, for those flying under the radar and not doing some of these steps, non-fiduciaries, or probably even some of fiduciaries skip these steps. As much business as we do, how much time constraint is that on us to make sure we're staying afloat with the DOL and these 8424s?
Oh, regulatory compliance is a huge issue in the financial world. I mean, really, with any industry, if you don't know about it, it can be so opaque to the outside person. I dropped my car off for a service this morning. They could put a, bulb fluid fee on there and I wouldn't know the differences if that was legitimate or not. So I think it is important to be able to disclose these fees, and these regulators have stepped in to hopefully do that. But again, like you said, not everybody is acting in a fiduciary capacity and they don't always have to disclose those fees, but we do. So
that's a great example too. Yeah, if you do go to work, have your car worked on, for the most part, it would be crazy just to blindly say, well, just fix it. I don't even care what it's going to cost. But Trey, that's kind of what goes on in the financial world. Like Wes said, most people don't understand fees, don't know what to ask. The clients will tell us that. I don't know what questions to ask, and just kind of blindly turn their money over to people.
Yeah, we do fee analysis on the front end. A lot of times when we're moving brokerage accounts that are already in IRAs, money that's been invested with another advisor, they come looking for a plan with us. When we put together these fee analysis, it dives into what the positions are. And I think we've got one of those that we can take a look at.
Yeah, in fact, Heather, it looks like, now this, you could describe this, that this one, basically, we save this person every year. Now this isn't gonna happen all the time, but over $10,000 a year in fees. So what is this analysis? Who's doing this in the office? And where do we find this information to accurately compare these fees maybe versus what they would be paying with us?
Yes, so that's one thing that is really important when you meet with us, to bring your full IRA statements, because we use that document to determine the report that everyone's seeing right now. So what we do is we look at the individual holdings of somebody's portfolio, especially with mutual funds and ETFs. They all have what's called expense ratios. So that is just the cost of investing into a particular fund. So we look at those, our calculation, we weight those against the entire amount of the portfolio, and then also determine what the advisory fee is on top of the expense ratios that they're paying. Then we compare that to what we provide. But, when we build out our portfolios on our Schwab platform, we look for low cost mutual funds and ETFs that are not going to trigger a lot of expense ratios. We're always mindful to try to keep the fees lower for our clients as best that we can.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.